And hello, and we are here at the downtown Flint studios for Out of the Mud. And this is episode 64, Lessons with Larry, with Stephanie Winfrey, Money Mike, and Larry Lott. And here we go.
Thank you, Brother George. Thank you, Brother George. I appreciate that. You know what I mean? Thank you. 1,000 thanks. First of all, I want to say what's happening to my co-host, and I'm always do as I always done. I'm gonna start with the beautiful lady, Miss Stephanie here. You know how you doing, Miss Stephanie?
I'm good. How about yourself?
Good. How you feeling on this Martin Luther King birthday?
Cold.
Yeah, it is cold. It's cold.
Freezing.
Yeah. I heard a gentleman say as cold as his ex-wife. You know what I'm saying?
Yep, yeah. I heard that all day today.
Yeah. What's happening, Brother Mike? How you doing?
Ain't nothing, man. Just sitting here enjoying the moment. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And, looking forward to getting off into this show as usually. Hoping that we could reach some people. You understand, and get some understandings, as well as pass some positive energy out here.
Yeah, facts. Even today's subject is the importance of responsibility. You know, um, I think that it's very deep. You can go real deep with this one because the importance of responsibility. Responsibility is more than just being able to be a breadwinner or being able to produce to have financial freedom. Responsibility bears every aspect of your life. Even when it comes to relationships, the responsibility. Everybody has responsibility, and what I find in a lot of cases, people are quick to point out what somebody else ain't doing as far as their responsibility, but they don't, and take a look internally. They don't look at themselves, and I know if anybody was checking this out last week, we had a show and we was talking about masculinity versus femininity. And and like I say, let me just say this for anybody that's paying attention and that's listening or watching. We love Miss Stephanie here. You know what I mean? It's our sister. We love her. You know what I mean? Although oftentimes our views and opinions may differ. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But the whole thing is not is not talking about who was talking about who. I'm far as who was getting the best points. The whole thing is we had these conversations so we can learn. Mm-hmm. And quick as we trying to teach y'all, we also learning ourselves. You know what I mean? Because everybody had their own experiences. Mm-hmm. And that's kind of like what shapes us into the way that we are.
Absolutely.
So yeah. So
and we have our battles anyway, even behind the scene.
Yeah,
we that's how we talk.
But we live and we learn. You know what I'm saying? And see, that's the whole thing. If a person can't take any type of constructive criticism, mm-hmm. that just says that person has no interest in changing. Because even if I don't agree with you, I at least can listen to what you're saying.
Absolutely.
And listen in an unbiased way. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I'm not listening to respond. I'm listening to see where this person is really coming from. And then I'm the type of person, hey, I know I ain't got it all figured out. I'm going to tell you in a minute. I know enough to know that I don't know enough, so I don't know everything. Absolutely. But, I'm kind of like stern in my position oftentimes. Mm-hmm. But if you can show me where I got it wrong, don't think I won't fix it. Don't think I won't change positions. I'll switch up fast. But you got to be able to show me, and there got to be some logic to it. Not just because you said it, but just because it's some truth to it. So let me adhere to the truth. And that's what we're here for. You know what I mean? That's why we had these conversations, so we can help each other grow. You know what I mean? It ain't nobody on this panel sitting high looking low. You know what I mean? Ain't nobody sitting high looking low. We all here together and we all trying to learn and we all trying to reach out and touch somebody because I'm sure that other people, if you're human, you go through the same things that we go through. Yeah. You know what I mean? So it don't hurt to have a different opinion or to have somebody shed some light where you might look at the situation different and you may find yourself in a better position or a better situation. So
Absolutely.
That's what I'm starting with.
Okay. I'm gonna let you go today first.
Well, being the gentleman that we are, we always say we let our lady first, and of course, I'm gonna hand it over to the troublemaker and let her
always
get off.
The troublemaker.
Yeah,
that's
pop
okay.
Pop it off.
But the responsibility of even learning, I think is major. We have to get the responsibility of wanting to learn, to change, to learn and take accountability to even have responsibility. So let's take accountability so we can have responsibility.
Yes.
And I think that's where a lot of it lack at, because a lot of people don't know how to take accountability because they are in denial, or they feel like they're not in the wrong, or just lacking in those areas.
And what's your favorite word there? What?
Narcissistic. They are narcissists.
Yeah,
that's my favorite word, because hey, it's a lot of that going on, and that has a lot to do with mental illness. And sometimes that right there will give us lack of responsibility. Because you can't focus on what's really going on, or the truth of life. Life be lifing
all the time.
all the time. Life is life. And so, it's all about getting your mind right so that we can take accountability to have responsibility, especially when it's time for us to raise our children. Because we have to, they look at us for that. Our grandkids, I have a grandchild now. So I have to take accountability of where I came from, and know my truth and where I stand, in order for my grandchild to have a better life, and to do better, think better, want better.
In fact,
and be able to receive that guidance.
Yeah. So I have to take responsibility for that, because she's looking up to me. Right. So I have to take responsibility of her looking at me as an adult who also come from damaged relationships, damaged childhood trauma. I come from all of that. So I have to take accountability and responsibility to heal from that, to get my granddaughter and her kids in the future. So it's all about taking responsibility. And we have to start somewhere.
Right.
And on this show, I think that's what we try to do. I call them my brothers too. They get on me all the time. But I feel like it's out of love.
Oh yeah, ain't no question. It's no criticism here. It's only we want to if it put it like this. If I could pull your coat, if you walking in the door and your slip is showing. I'm saying I'm gonna pull your coat. Hey, your slip showing.
You don't have no love for me.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? That means I'm leaving it there so we can talk about you.
Yeah,
and then it ain't even about that. It ain't what we do, right?
And say, hey, Steph, hey, check yourself out.
Yeah.
But a lot of people, they look at that different. Like we're down in them and we talk about them, and that's not what that is. I tell people all the time, I'm a very harsh person. But I come from love. Anybody that know me know I would love you to death. But I'm going to keep it 100 with you. I'm going to tell you when you're wrong, at least how I feel. Beg to differ if it is. But if I love you, I'm going to tell you. Now, how you take it, hey. But I love you, because if I didn't, I wouldn't say anything. But that's me taking responsibility as a friend, as a sister, as a cousin, as a mother. That's me taking my responsibility of being forward like that and very stern and harsh. I could be like that.
I mean, the truth is harsh sometimes. I mean, but I'm gonna tell you something. The truth is like strong medicine. Mm-hmm. It's bitter in the beginning, but in the end, it cure the illness.
Oh, absolutely.
Well spoken.
Oh, that's deep. And even with Brother Mike here, he pulls my tailcoat all the time.
The coattail.
Tailcoat.
Hey, you remember the white dude? I mean, remember the police
on
I
did not put my hands on her. For the record, I did not put my hands on her. So we gon'
see what I'm saying? Yeah. They get me right.
Yeah,
But that right there, they get me right. But it's no offense to it, but they do, especially Mike, he'll tell me, Stephanie, you was wrong. He'll let me know.
But that's what true love and that's what
I don't take it personal, because I know it comes from love.
It should never be taken personal when it comes from somebody that that love you. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Right. And oftentimes we want to hear what we want to hear. We don't want to hear what we really need to know.
Right.
Absolutely.
And is it fair to say, sometimes when you're on the outside looking in, some may can look a certain way.
Yeah.
But I still want to reiterate what was said about the integrity and the platform of this show. Mm-hmm. We're not here to bash my cousin, team up on her or nothing. Mm-hmm. We understand that a few viewers
Mhm.
felt as though we were teaming up or bullying on
Mhm.
the female on the show or Stephanie, whichever way y'all seen it. But that was not the case. This is not a situation for us to take personal up here.
Mm-mm.
There's things we just not going to agree on,
Absolutely.
and we try to straighten it out. And we differ. We
Yeah.
have different opinions. But the objective of this platform is to try to give out positive messages,
Mhm.
come to solutions about problems.
Mhm.
So I deeply want to apologize to any of you guys who felt that
That
I
you bully
I
me.
was bullying her on the show or attacking her, because speaking of that responsibility word, I
Yeah.
take responsibility. My delivery sometimes maybe it
little
can
harsh at times,
And
but
like
that's-
me
harsh
too.
or make it look more than what it is. But it's just out of love,
Absolutely. And I
because
know that.
you don't have a clue of the abuse that I take from this young lady. But I keep going and keep going
Yeah.
and keep going. But you viewers that called in to George F. Grundy voicing that opinion don't see that. You on the outside looking in, but I still don't mind giving you an apology.
And my thing is,
And
okay,
I do abuse you a lot.
I'm gonna say this. I feel you, Mike, but
Mhm.
I just, it's a lot of times to where when people aren't interested in changing nothing,
Mm.
they will find something wrong with something you said or the way you said it.
Absolutely.
But I'm not interested in changing nothing. I'm not interested in changing the narrative. I'm not interested in looking into the situation
Absolutely.
and saying, why is it that this individual feel like this? Or why do they feel like they have to, address it like that? But never will I ever, what I'm saying, try to abuse anybody verbally or,
absolutely.
try to, gang up on somebody, because
Yeah.
Well,
the opinions vary. They vary. And
Well.
sometimes you hear me leaning this way, and sometimes you hear me leaning that way, and sometimes you see me lean back.
Yeah.
Just like on the start of the show, the hostess with the most came out firing with some good information and intel. You saw me and my brother doing this, like we listening to our favorite music, because she on point.
Because we agree.
We agree. We rolling
But
with
it
it.
still don't change that a hit dog holler.
Yeah, Mama
Right.
Green said if you throw a
Yes.
brick at a pack of dogs, the only one gonna holler is the one to get hit.
But we agree.
Yeah.
So some of them women that was out
They
there,
got hit.
they got hit. And they
And
hollered.
it ain't like the number is not up here for you guys to call in. If you feel some type of
Put the
way,
number there.
call in, because you
It's
might
up
be
there.
seeing something about me.
248-820-5053.
Yeah.
And didn't we supposed to have a guest to come today?
Miss Satara.
Yes.
And I tried contacting her, and I'm quite sure by her not living in Flint anymore, it could be weather. I don't know what's going on. My main thing is that my prayers is that everything's okay with her and her family first and foremost.
Right.
Gotcha.
And with the class that she has about herself, I'm quite sure she'll give a call and say, "Hey, well, this took place or something," because she showed great intelligence. We
Facts.
loved her input, and when
But nothing negative happened. Everything's good.
I don't know.
So we don't know that.
So that's why I say the first thing
you
is
saying prayers and
is
stuff.
I'm
I'm like,
praying
what happened?
that everything's okay.
Oh, with the weather.
Yeah, with
dry.
whatever.
With
Cause
life.
Because with life or whatever, that's the first.
Yeah,
She
you
just didn't
never
strike
know.
us as the type of individual that would say, "Hey, I want to do something," then
Don't do it.
and
She's
then do a
right.
no show, no
Seem
cause.
very
Yeah,
responsible.
she's solid people. She's
Yeah,
solid.
yeah.
Definitely.
Ain't hard to tell.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And hopefully another time she'll be able
Yeah.
to make her presence known,
She can
because
take a rain
she's
check or
always
something.
welcome.
Yeah, for sure.
We definitely embrace her here out of the mud.
Yeah. And so,
But call in, like I said, anybody that feels some type of way, I'm not taking it personal. Please
No.
call in, because like I say, you might see something about me on this. You can say, well, hey, look, da 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 da. And you know what I'm gonna say? Well, thank you, Queen. I appreciate that input. I'm not fixing to go. But once again, you guys don't have a clue of what a person dealing with over here.
Because we argue every day.
Every fight.
Every day.
In fact, what was we fighting about? What was we fighting about today earlier?
It was so much.
And I mean, it was. Oh, I know.
What?
So for you ones that feel that got bullied, I don't want to rub this in, but we got in a vicious fight today about using a measuring cup to make your cake mix come out even in the pan.
Oh yeah.
She said, Ms. Winfrey said, you don't need a measuring pan. Just dump 2 boxes in and fill up each pan. So we had a deep fight about that today.
I couldn't understand how is it that difficult to make a cake. Just take the box of cake mix and put the ingredients in it, turn the blender on, and pour it in the. That's what I do.
Right. But
so what am I missing?
Well, the thing is, we ended up talking with a professional baker today.
Yes.
And so
and I still don't
she
understand.
still don't agree with it, but like we was explaining, when you do cakes is layers, and you want your layers even. So your layer, if you got, say, number 4 on the cup, if both pans has the number 4 of batter in it, it's gonna come out even. Miss Winfrey saying, hey, put 1 whole box in 1 little pan, which gonna bake that high off the pan, and do the other pan like that.
Yeah.
I like to see her cake and bring it on the show.
Listen.
But she fought
if
me.
If you got a 2-tier cake and 1 box take up the first layer.
It doesn't though.
Then you make up the next box and the next box take up the next layer. You got a double pane
right
cake.
So let me say this without being aggressive. Don't want nobody feeling no type of way. You do not put a whole box into 1 cake pan. Everybody know that. Oh, so that's why you mix it and use the measuring thing and get your layers even. Cake, I don't know when.
My cake come
I don't know when the last
good.
time you baked the cake.
I've used a whole box of cake mix and I go.
But that's when you was trying to get your ex out of jail and put a file in it and made it that big. That's not real, Steph.
No, I ain't never did all of that. That's just too much taking this and taking that.
I'm begging some woman or man. I'm begging some woman or man
I watch my wife.
To
she be baking
call
in
and help her with this cake baking.
Let me say this. I watch my wife. She be baking cakes from scratch, right?
Okay.
But I always tell her, I'll be like, look, if you find, like, say for instance, she make a dish or something, and I really like it, I'll be like, why don't you remember exactly what you did and do it that way, lock it in, because that's good like that. But when she, to her credit, when she do bake a cake, she use that measuring cup, and it always be,
Why do you use a measuring cup when you just follow
Miss
the
Lott,
instruction?
Please, could you call in to your friend and explain to her the importance of the measuring cup?
Then answer this. Then why is it instructions on the back of the
box?
Because the instructions on the back of the cup, back of the cake box tell you to use a measuring cup.
Sis,
for the whole box.
Sis, would you please call in and somebody, man baker, woman baker, please call in.
Agree with Stephanie just because she feel like last week she was one of the ones when I went
up.
She's like, y'all sis, get off my girl.
Don't call in. That's okay. Yeah. Strike that from the record,
please. Yeah.
But I just feel like I just don't have to understand it, because if I'm making a cake and I'm going by the instructions and I make that cake for that pan.
But if the instructions tell you use a measuring cup and put 2 ounces or put 1 ounce in there, why can't you use a measuring cup? What's wrong with a measuring cup?
Now the viewers can see what we're dealing with. See, God revealed things.
No.
And this right here
but the measuring cup
is letting the whole
that's for the whole
world see
what I'm saying. That's
what
for
we
the
talking
whole
about.
Box. So when you're doing a whole box, and I'm measuring my water, my oil, my eggs. I'm measuring all of that, but it's for the whole entire
You don't
box.
have to measure 3 eggs. If it say 3 eggs, 3 eggs is 3 eggs.
No, that's what I said.
Let's get back.
Just put it all in
responsibility.
The pan.
Let's get responsibility. The importance
like
of
our kid in play switch.
Yeah, hey, listen. The importance of responsibility. You know what I mean, and just being responsible.
I ain't baking. I'm being responsible, and I'm not baking nobody no cake.
See, we're not talking about get your ex out of jail cakes.
That's my responsibility.
We're not talking about them type of cakes.
I'm gonna call my god sister and tell her to make me a cake.
Yeah. That's what's up.
You wanted a file and a taser to fit in your cake. That's not the one we baking.
Oh yeah, you can hide one of them easy.
In your high baked cake.
Oh yeah,
but
you can hide a taser good in the cake.
But back to that.
Well, that sounds like a law being broken somehow. You know what I mean? Now, responsibility, the facts about responsibility, you don't
Right.
want to be responsible enough. You don't want to be responsible for their
The
case.
views and
No.
opinions.
Yeah, views and opinions are
Views and
based upon
opinions.
the own of the speaker's
Yes.
thought process. You know what I mean?
But being responsible, I think, is a key factor just in life. Even when it comes down to us when we go out, when we drinking, being responsible. Being responsible when the kids going to school, to make sure that, as parents, that
They
we
do
are
their homework,
they
making
do
sure,
their homework, and when they come home, making sure they being responsible to eat, get their right proper sleep, so that when they go to school,
they ain't tired.
they're not tired, and they can be responsible in doing their homework.
Is that somebody up there with something to say?
Yeah, imagine if Miss Winfrey made wood brownies. What they say? Weed brownies.
Brownies
Weed
without
brownies
a measuring cup.
Oh,
She going to jail.
everybody
for
gonna be
murder.
high.
She
Listen,
going to
Everybody
jail.
gonna be high.
I did it.
She going to jail.
I make some good ones.
Good
And
question.
I don't
Good.
use. And listen, I
Good
don't
comment.
use no cups, and I don't use no measurement for my weed cupcakes and brownies.
Oh yeah.
So that's why I don't want no regular cake.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
I can't make a regular cake.
back to what you were saying when you commented about the responsibility. I agree with you because even myself, I sit here and got caught up into that spades. I love when the thing give me a winning hand. So when I'm driving, but what made me stop messing with my phone, even though it's the law and the rule of it is so valuable of it, because I was going down the street and caught myself. I caught myself before going past a bus that got the thing out, stop for the kids.
Yeah.
So once again,
being
responsible.
And a lot of people
A dumb game and could have ran. I say that's it. So God blessed me to catch myself before it even got that far. But I was able to give more thought to say, hey man, what if you wouldn't have caught that and would have went home all the way up there?
You probably be in jail
and then
right
you'd
now.
have messed my life up for your stupidity of being irresponsible.
Right.
So like you said as well, Steph and Larry, it just varies over a lot of things.
Yeah.
Like for instance, when I went out, my man was trying to hand me some weed and drink. I said, so but let me get this straight. I'm on the highway and you want to give me the weed and drink and I'm the driver. I said, man, did you give me any thought to this?
None.
Right.
I said, you drink that shit. And
And thank God you was responsible enough to know, say no.
So let's try to encourage this and say to all people, not just older people, middle-aged people, young people. Hey, look, if you got people that drink or whatever, that designated driver commercial come out is very important. It saves lives. So please, you understand, get the responsible person in your pack. That's why some people pick a non-drinker that hey, let's get such and such. Even though they're using them. Yeah. That's the only reason they want them to go, but it's a good reason.
Yeah. That's being responsible. And that's being responsible.
Parenting. Parenting is a responsibility.
Yeah.
No matter if it was a didn't plan child or whatever the circumstances is, a love child, whatever it is, we have a responsibility to these children of ours, whether it's nieces, nephew, kids, friends, or whatever. We got to be responsible. I don't want to take the mic.
And then
somebody else.
And then on top of that too, it'll teach you how to be successful.
Shed a little more light on that for me.
I mean, just
because you're right.
Just being responsible. I know when I was coming up as a little girl, I think my maturity level was a little higher because my parents gave me all the responsibility. They showed me I had to do everything. I was responsible. And I remember one day my stepdad said, well, no, let Steph do it because she more responsible and she need to learn and how to do this and do that. And that grew me up. So when I went to college and the first year I was like, no, I got to get my own place. I was responsible enough to know that I had to go to school and give me a part-time job to help pay for my bills. This is at a young age.
Right. So partying had nothing to do with it. Want to party and have your company over.
No, I was
married. That's what you told me. That's what you told me when we went on camera. But go ahead.
Oh God!
But can I just share this with you? Piggyback on. This reminds me what you just said is when they say when you have a child and you pay attention to your kids, if you pay attention, you'll know what their strengths at and what they're interested in, and it'll be easy for you to support them because you know when you pay attention to him. He picked you because you're not letting it be known. There was multiple siblings in that circle with you. You had siblings, but instead of those siblings, they said, no, get Stephanie. Because that means they watched you and the rest of them and said, hey, she got that more responsibility to her. Hey, here we go.
Yeah. And then as time went on, I just became responsible. They called me, Steph, can you do this? Steph, can you do that? And now but see, God makes no mistakes. Because I had to be put in a position to be responsible for the affairs of the house.
Now, when do we start? When do we start with kids? I got a quick question because I got a short story. When we had kids, when do we really hold them to responsibility? Because my brother, right here, his favorite uncle. And we gonna listen. He's passed away now, but we still keeping the great Uncle Leon alive in spirit with us. Uncle Leon Williams cut my brother off at a very early age.
Did he?
He got him knocked. My brother got him knocked a couple times. But listen to his age. Tell him.
I was about 3.5 going on 4 because I know I wasn't even in school yet.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
And that started early.
Yeah. Well, but being around my Uncle Leon, I will say this is my great uncle. And my mother, she had me at 19. And so by having me at 19, at that time she didn't have a number me and Tiny. And Tiny was my oldest sister who was living with her grandmother. So I was actually at that particular time, I was like my mother only child. And so she was 19, she had me at 19, you're 19, you're gonna do what 19-year-olds do.
Right.
So she'd come over and be like, she'd take me over to my Uncle Leon's house, which was her uncle, but he was my great uncle.
Okay.
So she'd take me over and be like, Uncle Leon, would you watch Larry? I'm finna go to the stove. And he'd be like, go on, B, now make sure you get on back here because I got something I gotta do. She'd be gone 2 days. He done talked about my mama so bad. The stuff he was saying took from me when I got a little older to understand. Dang, he was really going in on mama. You almost had me looking at my mama differently. Right. But nevertheless, so I got, so he would be stuck with me sometime, needless to say. So I'm just gonna tell y'all this one little story, right? So he liked to fish, he worked at Buick, you know what I mean? So he say, hey nephew, we're gonna go down here to the Bay City Bay, we're gonna go fishing, and I used to like, he had the little lantern, the Coleman lantern, the old kind, looked like the baby doll socks that lit up, you know what I'm saying, inside the lantern. So he said, yeah, we're gonna go out here to the Bay City Bay, we're gonna go fishing. We're gonna go fishing. So we went down there and and he had a pistol, he used to call it Roscoe. So we was on the fishing bank and some geese had flew over. So my uncle, he pulled his pistol, I started popping at the geese. Pop, 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 So he ain't hit down, of course, but I don't know if he was really thinking it ain't like he had a rifle, and then he just had his pistol. So we kept fishing. So it started raining, so it got late. So he said, you know what, nephew? Because he used to talk to me like I was a little grown person, So he said, you know what, nephew? We're gonna stay right here. We're gonna stay out here tonight. Now I drive back in the morning because it's kind of bad out here. It's raining real bad. So I was like, oh, okay. So he gave me a quilt. So all those people that know back in the day, them blankets was quilts. They was heavy too.
They was heavy.
So he gave me a quilt. I got in the back.
Handmade.
Hand sewed. Yeah, I'm in the back seat. So I'm trying to go to sleep or whatever. So I hear something knocking on the window after I called myself. We supposed to be asleep. So when I knocked on the window, I looked up, and when I looked up on the quilt, I seen the light was real bright, shining in the car.
Oh wow!
So it was raining. So it was a game warden. So he had his little County Mountie hat on. He had a yellow poncho on. I'd never forget it.
Mm-hmm.
And back in these days, they 38 special. That was the deal. It wasn't no
Yeah.
nines and all
Right.
that
Yeah.
350.
That was
It was
police,
38 special.
38
Yeah, it was
special.
yeah. So the handle of his pistol was sticking out the little split on the side of the poncho raincoat.
Mm-hmm.
So I remember the police asked my uncle like, "Hey, is everything all right with you?" So my uncle was like, "Yeah. Me and my nephew is out here fishing. We from Flint. You know, I decided we just stay out here tonight because it got to raining real bad. So we just go back in the morning." So he's like, "Oh, okay, all right." You know, so he was finna get ready to leave. You know, he had summarized a little question. You know, so I'm looking at him. I say, and I used to be fascinated with pistols, with Roscoe's.
Oh,
So I said, ooh, you got a gun. Just like my Uncle Leon, and we was shooting at them birds.
and you told.
Hold on, yeah, right? You know? Hold on. Yeah, it was me. Anyway, so hey. Yeah, what? Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
So anyway, so check it out. So they took us to the Bay City. At this time, I believe the police department and the fire department was together
Mm-hmm.
because they took him to jail unbeknownst to me, but they took me to the fire department. So I go in here and this floor is so shiny, and I see at this time they didn't have red fire trucks. They had cherry red, like a burgundy. Real, it was just so shiny, and I'm looking at all this stuff. So they telling me, taking me around little fire trucks, you know, walking me around and stuff, and like, you know, so they gave me a little plastic red fireman's hat. So, you know, when my uncle bailed out, we got to go back to Flint. So I never forget this. We got on 75, and he was just like, "Boy, I tell you, the more I teach you, the dumber you get." So I'm in the back seat, so I'm trying to be cool, right? So he tell me, he say, "No," I tell him, I say, Uncle Leon, I say, "You like my fireman hat?" He said, "Let me see that hat." I gave it to him. Next thing I know, he was like, "Whoo!" That thing went out the window, and it's just whoo, whoo, and and there wasn't no seatbelt on, so I'm standing up in the back seat and I'm watching my little fireman hat go away, and I'm mad. I'm wondering, I ain't understand why he did it though. You know what I mean? But yeah, and you know, yeah,
he had his reason.
No, he didn't know he got paid with a hat before crime stopped.
Right.
Yeah, I was McGruff. Yeah, they told me, "Oh, thank you for telling." Yeah. You know what I mean? But yeah. So that was one of my early stories, you know. Yeah, my Uncle Leon.
My goodness! But so that goes to show you, it starts early.
Yeah, it do.
It starts. I have my grandbaby. She what 16 months, 18 months. So she go in the kitchen and I got a tea thing where I keep my teas, and they all on the floor. I said, okay, pick them up and put them back where you got them from. Now she looking at me like, huh? She still want to play with them. I said, put them back. So I take out of her hand and I put it back in there. The next thing I know, she picking them up and putting them back in there.
Okay.
And she only like 16 months, but it starts early.
Yeah, it do.
When you think they don't know, that's when the minds are even sharper.
Now, how old is she now?
She 18 months.
So that means when this little quick story I tell you about my beautiful encounter with her grandbaby and my which, you know, her mother is my cousin, but because of the age, we call her auntie.
Yeah, facts.
Out of respect.
Yeah.
So when I go in there with my cousin / aunt, you know, and the grandbaby. So if she 18 months now, she was about 9 months. I came over to the house and I hear something. So I look in the bedroom to speak to my aunt, which I call her mother Stick and Move. I go in there to speak to Stick and Move. When I looked in there, now she 9 months. They both sitting up in the bed with a cigarette apiece.
Huh?
That's what the hell? Because she was watching my but that's just how smart she was.
I looked in there. I said, "What y'all having a meet?"
When I tell you she mimicked me, I told my daughter, I said, you know what? This one right here, she watches everything, and it's like a recorder.
And they on the bed kicking it.
Yeah, and she doing everything that my mother like
the great grandmama.
My mother like,
telling the grandbaby
because she thinking she can do what I do.
They having a real conversation with a square piece.
And she was 9 months.
Yeah.
9 months.
Yeah.
So, but she's always been receptive to anything and everything. She can go back and do anything and copy it to the T. So it starts really early. Their minds are like sponges. They soak in everything. So the responsibility, it don't start when you become a teenager. It don't start when you get married. It don't start when you go to college. It starts when these babies are babies.
It's training them.
Right.
Yeah.
It's training them.
Yeah.
You know.
And believe you me,
and the more you try to duck and get out and let somebody else keep the baby, that's the less they can.
And
that's the thing too.
Yep. That's a fact, Mike. But then at the same time, when we fail to train them, that's what we're dealing with now.
Yeah, failure to train.
Yes. Ain't nobody taking time to train these children.
Yeah. Or let's say we don't have no critics come at us, because some people like, oh, you ain't training an animal or dog.
No.
What's a better way? Teaching them. So we don't feel.
I mean, but hold on. Anybody that's gonna confuse training with teaching, then they need some help. They self. Right. Let me keep it clean. They need some help themselves.
Absolutely.
For real. You know, I'm serious.
You got to know what we're talking about.
Yeah.
You know, it's just.
I mean, like I got trained. Like hold on, my Uncle Leon, hold on. But check this out. Now that happened to me at 3, and I'm gonna say 3.5 because I wasn't 4. I know I wasn't in school. So that happened to me early. But guess what? He trained me not to be telling.
Yeah.
He trained me not to snitch.
Yeah.
You ain't no snitch.
Like you know why I don't really smoke weed? Because I didn't know at the time what weed was. But you know, back when it was really, really deep illegal, my granddad used to smoke weed. So when he left the little thing down there and his lighter, I lit it up. It choked the shit out of me. I thought I was gonna die.
You put it down.
Yeah, and the shit. Then I looked and knew the difference. I said, okay, that's that. I tried this. He's smoking of all cigarettes.
A Paul Mall.
He's smoking them damn Winstons.
Okay.
Yeah.
I hit that Winston. That motherfucker knocked me on the ground. I don't smoke cigarettes.
Yeah.
So then he drunk liquor. I tried his liquor. So I got him so much to be thankful for him.
Yeah.
Tried his liquor. It made me sick. Don't drink really. So you know, you learn.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Facts.
And I don't
experience
drink.
is your teacher.
He's the best teacher.
And some other is just by trying to,
I don't drink. I went to college. I went to Wiley College. Let's give a shout out to Wiley College. I got a lot of people out there.
For sure.
And they got me drunk. I wasn't even on the campus a good month. And that Wild Irish Rose.
Ooh, hold up. Do you know Mad Dog and Wild Irish Rose on the comeback?
No,
I'm serious. Hold up, watch this. Hold up, no, watch this. Check this out. This is a fact. Hold on, now hold up. You heard it. Hold on, you heard it here first. Hold on, you heard it here first. So my wife, she like to drink wine. So she come in with a little bottle to my. It's called Midnight Passion or something. It's supposed to be a red wine or something. So I'm like, she like you'll like this one. I'm like, I don't know. I just said, let me taste this because you keep bragging on this wine. So I tasted it. And my taste buds took me back in the past. I said, girl, this ain't nothing but some Mad Dog 2020. Ooh. I said, I stopped drinking this when I was a teenager. I said, because it got me too, I prayed to God. I'm like, God, if you let me
back
get past
to the Undertaker
it took me back to all that.
They put in that liquor in that wine
listen. So I tell her, I say, babe, I said, they just dressed up this bottle. This is Mad Dog. I say, and she said, well, I ain't no Mad Dog. I said, okay. I said, all right, bet. I said, matter of fact, I'm going to go buy some.
Okay.
So do y'all know I had to go all the way to Lapeer, Michigan to get I bought a couple bottles since I was there, but to buy some Mad Dog 2020. I promise you. Listen,
they still make
they didn't have it nowhere in Genesee County, period. I had to go to Lapeer. This was probably about a year and a half ago. I had to go to Lapeer to get it. And when I went and got it, so what I was gonna do was take an empty bottle of that and then fill it up with Mad Dog. And then blindfold her, give her both of them and ask her which one is which.
It's the same thing.
For real, I'm trying to tell you because your taste buds, you don't forget what what something tastes like.
Right.
So, and anyway, the other day I was at somewhere at the store and I looked at the cooler and I'm telling you, they had all brand new bottles of Mad Dog 2020. They still bottled them up the same way.
Really?
And below the Mad Dog was Wild Irish Rose, straight up.
Yeah.
So no, they didn't have that. But you can only find that in the inner city anyway. In malt liquor, you can only find that in the inner city. Oh yeah, no, they ain't had no St. Ives in there. No,
What?
for George, no.
No.
But seriously though, so that Mad Dog is be on the lookout. It's
that-
back, and I'm telling you, and you think
I'm
the
running.
violence rates is up? Now, when the people
Well,
if they
tell you.
ever make that fashionable, it's gonna be a lot of problems.
My
Does he take you
experience
there?
with
For
that
real.
Wild Irish Rose and that
Ain't nothing to play with.
back in 1986, I will never forget it. And ever since then, I do not. That was the last time that I got drunk. I thought I was going to die. I was so drunk. I stood in the bathroom. I stood up and turned around
Did
and
you
sat
throw up?
down. I was throwing up and doing the number.
Yeah,
Listen,
defecating at the
I
same
was
time.
rotating from sitting on the toilet, standing up, sitting on the toilet. Then I felt like jumping out the window.
So is it
So
fair to say
when
you didn't
I
drink
looked
responsible
at
at that time?
and that air hit me, I felt like jumping out the window. I never want to feel like that again.
Yeah,
That Wild Irish Rose.
Stay away from it. If you ain't tried it, stay away from it.
Almost took me out.
For real.
And ever since then, but
Seriously.
but see, when you in college, we be irresponsible because we're trying to have a good time. We're trying to follow along with what everybody else doing. That was and I never was drinking when I was a teenager. So I'm doing what everybody else. They say, "Here, Stephanie, drink it out the bottle." Okay, I'm drinking it out the bottle. I don't even know how I even made it back to the dorm, and I was on feet.
So let me ask both of y'all a question.
Yes, sir.
Because we talking about responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
Now, my question is, I've noticed that I remember if a set of cousins fought each other, that you would get your ass towed up by the family.
What? Yeah.
So now there's so much of a great divide that immediate first cousins don't even act like first cousins. So now, wouldn't we feel responsible of trying to promote that back to getting that back?
Well, absolutely.
You
But
know,
the thing about it is,
because we have a responsibility as a family to understand the importance of family. And once again, we spoke on this before, Sunday dinners. But go ahead, y'all. I asked y'all the question.
Well, there can't be no Sunday dinners when you have animosity in families, and it's just a lot of families is going through trials and tribulations right now within the family anyway. So to try to bring that back, you have to get some forgiving, some have conversations, and all that type of stuff. But without none of that, and then a lot of family, they get jealous of each other. You know, they doing this and they doing that, or what? You know, instead of let's support each other and love on each other. I think we had a podcast before, and we said make the foundation based off love. So no matter what differences we have, we can always go back to the foundation. So then we can, you still may be mad and you still might be upset and feel a certain kind of way, but let's go back to the beginning of the foundation on where everything stood on, and it should be love. And without that,
let's catch Larry.
No.
Yeah, I just wanted both.
Yeah.
She gave a great input on that.
Yeah.
Can you? I want you to repeat the
That's
question
why
one
I
more
put you on
time.
blast.
Thank you. I
Because
know.
you wasn't listening. That's why I clicked on him and put him on blast.
Cool.
But
Now, what about to say? Yeah, because if your car burgundy,
right,
you understand me?
Right.
Oh,
Now, what I do, since Steph answered that so good, what I will question you about, because we're talking about responsibility
right,
things.
for sure.
You took on a great responsibility. How is things going with your youth program?
Oh, it's going real well.
And the name of it again?
Lots of Love Mentors for Success.
Okay.
Well, we take young boys, and train them, basically, teach them how to become mentors for themselves, and that way, it make it easier. It make it easier for them not to be persuaded, to do the wrong things, So yeah. But it's coming along real good. The boys doing real well.
That's great.
For real.
I always want you to know that they always thought about.
And I feel like, it's all about responsibility. They say that whatever bothers you the most is what you were born and put here to change.
Yeah.
And you telling me with that statement that God done put me here to be attached to keeping and getting her right. Is you serious?
I guess so. That's what bothers you the most.
Yeah.
But she, Bob, I had a head full of hair when I met her.
Woo!
Yep.
So now back on a serious note.
Yeah.
Do you know what I want to really from out of the mud that I really want to try to get
What's that?
get going, and I'm gonna try to campaign it with everybody.
What's that?
Is putting together like potlucks, but on a big platform.
Mhm.
Like, hey, let's catch like your uncle has a McCree Theater,
Mhm.
and he do the free movies.
Oh yeah.
But let's do everybody bring a meal, but you bring your family and sit at the table, and it need to consist of a cousin, sisters, brothers
Mhm.
at your table. Well, you know, we get
Oh, that
something
would be
going like that,
nice.
play a little music, watch them dance, had a
Mhm.
little DJ,
That would be nice.
and let's try to get this unity back because I'm not speaking racist, but I don't feel bad speaking for us as a race that we need to get our togetherness back.
Mhm.
We really do. It's
I-
very vital.
You know. Oh,
Go
I
ahead.
didn't mean to cut you off, but it was.
Absolutely.
I had brought something up today. You know, when you said races and all that, you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
you know, I had brought something up today, and it made me think about something that had happened in my past. So it was some gentlemen that they were part of the Aryan Nation, you know, and they was
Mhm.
all right with me, you know, but they was part of the Aryan Nation. So a
Mhm.
lot of my people, our people, they wanted to know, man, Larry, why you mess with them, man? Why you talk to them? Why? And then I had to stop them and I had to say, hold on, man. I said, just because you don't love your people the way that they love their people, you can't be mad at them for that.
Right.
They ain't got nothing against me.
Absolutely.
They just love their people and they want you to know it. Now,
Wow.
if you don't love your people, that's on you.
Now, let me ask you a quick
What's
question
that?
in that. Now, like when you get in the Aryan Nation,
Yeah.
a lot of people that takes Aryan Nation and associate it full speed with like the KKK
Yeah.
for who's out for lynching and doing things
Mm.
to blacks.
Right.
The majority of it, I'm just trying
Go
to get a
ahead. Go
question
ahead.
of an Aryan Nation is about just believing and keeping their race
They
solid
bloods.
and
Yeah.
doing their thing,
Yeah.
not
It ain't
coming
got
in
nothing to
hate
do with
crimes.
nothing to do with you.
Oh wow.
See,
Yeah.
Now
so
I'm
and
learning
that's
something.
Yeah.
see, and that's where
Yeah.
people don't understand. Hey, these people just letting it be known. Hey, I'm about me and
I
my
love
people.
my people. I don't want us mixing
And
races.
about it, yeah.
That's how they
See,
how
but
they
you
feel.
get
But
through
they ain't
in,
got nothing
excuse
against you.
man, I'm a mess.
So
They throw you in, but they throw that in with another entity of people,
All right.
you know? And then it's the same way as, you know, some of the religions spoke about the race of blacks sticking with blacks and or colors, because we're not black. The microphone thing here is what's considered black.
Right. Right.
But we're not black.
Mhm.
But it's sticking and building. And that's why we're not, when you speak like you always speak like you did like about strength of a
Mhm.
race,
Mhm.
until we get to sticking together,
Mhm.
then there is no strength.
How many feet of water we drowning in?
It's back to that 2 feet you can.
2 feet of water.
That's
And we
crazy.
see we all and I say this a lot because we always waiting on somebody to come lift us up out of this 2 feet of water when all we gotta do is stand up.
And that's where the wires got crossed last week with
Yeah.
you guys.
Mhm.
You know, you may mean something, but if you say something and the person what you say, they might respond off what you said.
Mhm.
So then that's where you got your opportunity to give clarity.
Mhm.
You know, nobody is giving this race nothing.
Mhm.
We gonna have to come together and build and instill in one another the importance of unity.
And if we get
And
back
it's
to the
so
basics
hard to
of
do.
just if we get back to the basics of just treating people the way you want to be treated. See, because oftentimes people would treat a person one way, but feel they should be treated another way.
Yep.
And then we have a whole lot of that going on. And that's part of being responsible.
Yeah.
Because
And I just talked to Mike about
Right.
that. We had a conversation.
yeah, that's part of being responsible. When you're responsible enough to say, hey, I don't actually the way we supposed to look at it, we got to go back to the basics. Because the way we supposed to look at it, like, man, hold on.
Mhm.
This would hurt me. What if it would hurt you? How you think it make the other person feel?
Mhm.
and we done got past, we done got beyond that. We don't be responsible enough to look at that or think about that. To think before you say something, generally it's in your mind.
Yeah.
So if it don't sound right in your mind, why do you let it come out your mouth? Because once it come out your mouth, you can't bring it back in.
Yeah.
Now let me push this envelope right quick on some real talk. He just said some of the coldest stuff of importance you could say when he said, when he said,
wake the bear up.
Yeah, somebody burped.
Poke the bear.
Yeah.
So anyway, you said when you spoke on, we got to get back to what?
The basics.
So let me share with you about the basics and drop this on you. By us sitting here following another person's another person's agenda. Let me explain this with you. Why you think we got so many other problems we got with health issues is because we bought into what they pushed on us about speed growth in food. What did we do and how did we eat? We went and had our gardens, grew our stuff naturally, and we ate off of it.
I was raised up.
You understand? You raised off of that. See, so when you get to saying basics, we got to go back to what we done that was successful for us.
That sustained us all these years. Oh, this sustained us. Not that took us out, but actually this sustained us.
Now, how deep is that to you?
That's very deep.
Deep.
But we can't get back to the basics because there's so much animosity and so much competition. And
you know where you start with the basics at?
And not enough.
Hold on, no, but check it out. You know where you start with the basics at?
Where?
Your home. You start right within your home. And it spread. When you come out, you start with the basics at home. Yeah. You understand me? Then as you come out into the community or come out into the world, you take the basics with you. And you practice the basics. And people will catch on.
Let me tell
you. You know, we trendy people anyway.
Right.
Hold on. You know, for real, we trendy people.
Absolutely.
So what's wrong with setting the trend of us doing better for ourselves, us taking accountability and becoming responsible, us coming together and stop all the backbiting and stop all the highlighting these little differences and all this stuff. Hey, but for anybody that's listening, hold on. I know y'all want y'all to check something out. Tell me. And I ain't trying to change the subject, but tell me who seen that Drewski hookup?
Who?
Drewski.
I didn't.
You did.
Oh, I did.
No.
I know you did.
What is that?
Yeah, because we did the podcast.
Huh?
We did the Drewski.
No, I didn't do it.
Yeah, we did it.
What
we
is
did
it?
it with the guy from Hawaii.
Drewski is my man. Drewski is my man.
We just talked about
the comedian who did the
the pastor. Oh, I seen that.
Yeah, man.
We was just on
see how people. Hold up. And do you know he caught criticism for that? For telling the truth. It ain't like, and then they say, oh, he mocking the church. Hold up.
You know
how
why?
can you hold him? Watch this. Hold up. But how can you mock something? It'd be different if he didn't have these examples that he can go to and say, dang, that's what he did. That's funny. I'm finna do that and I'm finna show the world. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. He didn't make up none of them acts. He seen them acts.
But that falls back to what you said, just like each leader. Each leader that has something real to pose a threat to get us to think right, he got knocked off. Yeah, that's why we got this day today, Martin Luther King Day. You get the messenger.
Happy ML King Day to all the listeners, anybody that's out there.
But you get knocked off, and they knocking him because he is exposing somebody's
But it
pocket.
need to be exposed so you can get it right.
I don't disagree.
No, I'm saying.
But he posed a threat to shut down people's hustle.
Yeah, they hustle,
and that's a problem.
We did the podcast.
He did Art Woodson. He pulled Art Woodson.
Okay.
Because Art Woodson gonna come like that. Yeah. He gonna front you off.
Yeah.
He see the truth, but he didn't make it up.
Yeah, he didn't make it up. He didn't make it up.
The man Drewski didn't make it up.
He just highlighted.
He witnessed it.
He highlighted
and then brought it to the
highlighted it. Like, hey, look at this.
His
in case y'all missed
perspective.
In case y'all missed it.
Yeah, we did it
in his perspective.
Yeah.
See, let me tell you the coldest thing that it took me as an adult to understand.
What's that?
Is segregation.
That wasn't no bad
segregation
thing.
Was made to be a bad thing.
But it really wasn't.
And we got tricked into, I'm like my man who said, I'm not racist, but I don't care about sitting with a person don't want to sit with me. There's people of my own color don't want to sit with me. I don't, but when you're buying other people's scheme of things is when you become a lost soul. You become a lost soul.
Yep.
You get back to us, we, as the unique people that we are. And that togetherness is the only way. Unity. Why
Is
you
the key.
think
Unity is
the
key.
first thing that was attacked against us worked? Far as when we got strongly attacked, when we was at our strongest peak. Once they pulled them stunts down in the Birmingham, Alabama and stuff, with with the say we withdrawing spending with y'all, and they couldn't get that extra money and income and saw it drop. Let's get rid of that secret. But when they gave in, they already had their other plan to come back, and they broke that unity down, and we ain't been the same since.
Never.
Unity, that one word, was so powerful that it carried us like with no problem. When they broke
that's why
it,
we have that's one powerful word, but we have zero of that.
Yeah, now
we have zero of
now.
that. Yeah, today.
See, once as a race, when we had the sand in our hand like this, you can open it up anytime and show them that sand. Once they was able to spread them fingers, the sand fell through all the cracks. So when you open it, there's nothing there, and that's where we have no unity.
Yeah,
Flat
facts.
None.
That's a fact.
You know?
That's true.
And we did
Yes.
that.
And that ain't got nothing. That's not down and nobody else. That's
No.
not. That ain't had. That's just like, for instance,
Shame on me.
Shame on me. That's our fault. That's my fault. That ain't y'all fault.
Blaming you
That
for
ain't
nothing.
No, not at all. You
Yeah.
ain't did nothing. You ain't did nothing wrong.
I don't have to have. Why you think you got up and want the big house, bigger than you could keep up, the big car? You wanted it because that's what you told you couldn't have, and you and that tiger in us got played on. That lion in us got played on. We like, you know what? Oh, I show you. I'm getting my bread. That's their stuff. The average person that owned the matches, and it ain't even of color. All colors don't end up owning them. That's why we got them shows show who used to own it. And then it got passed on to the next person and the next person. Because when your cash flow stopped, you couldn't afford it. And they know in the real estate game, you going to live beyond your means. Wake up. School days. When my man hollered, wake up. And that's serious.
I'm going to tell you something. But speaking of school days, Spike Lee, man, he's underrated, man. You know what I'm saying? That brother underrated, for real.
Always
because he put some real science in a lot of his movies, man, for real.
And he sort of got shut down.
Yeah,
the industry didn't want to let him. Why you think
they didn't want him doing his narrative?
Trying to buy their studios now.
He was too smart.
And they finna let them buy and open up their studios. But mark my words, they gonna come with something that's gonna damage that. And where they got the money, but now they flip the script on them to where they can't get to certain things. Now
you can't get
to put it out.
Like, good example of what you just saying. Like when Bob Johnson sold BET, it was his to sell. You can do what you want to do with yours. But
what did that stand for?
Community.
So the young people.
It's supposed to be Black Entertainment Television.
That's what it's stood for.
Yeah, okay. but he sold it, but he sold it thinking that he was gonna be able to get a airline. He was led to believe he was gonna be able to get an airline.
Okay.
However, when he tried to go do the airline, was it 9/11 happened? I think it was 9/11 that happened, and then that kind of messed up the airline industry. So he came back, but then wasn't nothing that
shut down.
Yeah, shut it down. Pretty much. You know what I'm saying? So
let's go. What about this then? Just like what you said, my man was America's favorite by all. He couldn't do no
OJ,
wrong.
Who you talking, OJ?
No. He couldn't do no wrong. Oh, Bill. When
just
Bill went to cut in about that,
facts. Yeah.
All of a sudden, here come the most celebrated, one of the most celebrated black people living that did no wrong, turned out to be this and that. And then let's look at the laws. Don't get me wrong. Any woman and whatever person get violated has a right to see it out. But where you got laws of understanding for 25
what happened to statute
30 years ago to bring something on the person?
50 years ago.
But statute of limitations.
That's all we saying.
Come
on now.
That wasn't a murder.
No. Only thing I know has no statute of limitations.
It's murder. Right.
That's the only reason I ain't got a hold of you yet.
And my thing is, y'all waited this long because he was trying to buy ABC,
NBC.
NBC.
One of the major networks.
One of the major networks.
He was trying to buy NBC. They didn't waited.
Think they gonna let
didn't
you have
gather
that
up
kind of
all
pull?
these people that had a problem. Now y'all done waited 50 years. This man, almost 100 years old. He couldn't survive that long in jail. He just sat there and came
They
back.
was letting him know we'd send your
No
ass
matter
to death.
what, we can
Another
no matter
head
what,
chop.
no matter what, yeah, no matter what.
But that's crazy because it should
No, that's
be
life.
Well, my thing
That's
is
reality.
for
Right.
me,
Yeah, that part.
this goes back to responsibility.
Mhm.
If anybody had done anything to me, I'm not getting ready to wait. I don't care. No 50 years. Because if it's in your mind to do it, you're gonna do it eventually.
When you get to a safe place, then go let it be known. When you get to a safe place, go let that be known. But it's just like I say though, same thing work for you.
I'm
can
gonna
work
be
against
responsible,
you
and
once
I'm gonna say
you cross the line. Long as you listen, they don't mind letting the NBA players, entertainers, get all the money you want. Go to stepping into their area. About no matter who's attached to it. It's a controlling setting. And if you come to make a problem with that, you finna feel the wrath.
I would say something more or less like it's like I can give you all this money or this paper. Now, as long as you stunting on your own, or in some cases you may be stunting on your own people. In other cases, you may be giving your people hope. Like, wow, he did it. I know I can do it. You know, but the minute you get out of line,
try to spin it the wrong
you know
way,
what I'm saying?
you're gonna have a
Look
problem.
at Puffy. His money,
I was
that
just
man a
getting ready to say
billionaire.
that.
Hold up. They said, well, they supposedly they inflated him, but he got money, but they still said he was a billionaire. Now,
is.
hold on. Well, listen. Well, tell me what good is $1 billion when you can buy anything on this planet, but you can't buy your freedom?
But let me tell you something.
Or you can't buy anything. Bill Cosby found that out.
You can't buy your freedom.
Everything's not for sale or available to you.
If
you
everything
buy
they
your freedom.
saying that P. Diddy did was wrong. Now,
It ain't nothing that he was doing on his own. It ain't nothing that what
what's the
nobody else
name?
doing.
R. Kelly got 30 years.
No, I'm be listening to
Wait a minute. Wait, let me finish.
Kelly was down there at McDonald's
with the kids.
With the kids getting out of school.
Okay,
right.
Listen,
but I mean, I'm not judging, but he kind of really put himself in a messed up spotlight.
Yeah, I got a twist to that too.
Yeah.
I got a twist to that too.
Oh, twisted, sister.
I got a twist to that too. But if it wasn't that bad, this man only getting 5 years. But see, he was in the process. It was something going on with that, something that he was trying to buy. Anytime it was something.
No, he wasn't trying to buy nothing.
What was he trying to do?
No, what it was, he wasn't trying to buy nothing.
He got
what it
into
was,
the
no,
Russian
but the
liquor.
DiMaggio's. I mean, whoever get over the liquor. But no, let me tell you what it was. According to my little research or whatever.
Okay.
But it said, you know, it was. Well, I was led to believe that he had the little liquor thing, and they told him, they said, okay, this is how he got his billionaire status, because they say we will give you $100 million a year for promoting this liquor. And we're gonna even let you say it's your liquor.
Yeah.
So just by him saying that Ciroc was his, it made us have a sense of pride. Like, man, we gotta support Ciroc because one of our own this.
Marketing skills.
Well, yeah, but watch the play. One of our own this. Not once did one of us say, let's see how many employees he got that's working at the Ciroc factory, you know, that look like us. Right. Let's see how you know what type of jobs it calls. But we always, they know
bandwagon.
You put one, we bandwagon. We trendy people. So he did that. So watch this. So they told him we give you 100. This was over 10 years ago. So that's why they said $1 billion, because 10 times 100 is $1 billion. You know, 100 million 10 times is $1 billion. Okay. So he say, yeah, so, hold on. Yeah, 100 million. Yeah. Okay, so he said, so what happened was his sales had declined some. Because we trendy people now. We'll drink with you. That's why he came up with all these different flavors. Because if he'd have stayed one flavor, we'd have had one go round. But he said, okay, I got the peach, I got the apple, I got this, I got that, I got the butterscotch, the vanilla, everything. So watch this. So he can keep us on the line. So it was said that allegedly that George Clooney had Casamigos. and they offered him the same sort of contract.
Mm-hmm.
So Casamigos, we trendy. We didn't jump on. We talking Casamigos. Yeah, we gotta have Casamigos. Ain't nobody thinking about Ciroc no more.
Yep.
So we started buying that, and so they said that Puffy felt like the owners of the liquor company wasn't promoting his liquor.
Right.
Feel he's being undermined.
He felt like they was promoting Casamigos, not promoting Ciroc.
Mm-hmm.
So he say, you know what? He said, what I'm gonna do, all right, I'll tell you what, cool, I'm gonna sue y'all.
Yep.
Plus,
That's
hold
what
on,
it
not
was.
only am I gonna sue y'all, I'm gonna go back and tell my people
What's going on?
that y'all are racist.
Yeah.
But see, what he didn't go back and say, he was gonna go back and tell. Now, if he would have said, I'm gonna go back and tell my people that I really don't own this liquor,
Right.
and that y'all racist. He never said he really didn't own the liquor.
Right.
And so that's why, it just goes to show how easily we are misled.
Yeah.
But the same thing with Jay-Z and what's the other liquor, the bottle of liquor he had, y'all know what I'm talking about, with the little crosses on it or whatever, whatever. I can't even think of the name of it,
but when that lawsuit came out, he was getting ready to start that's when his problem started.
Yeah, right. But but see, here's the thing. They will build you up so you can front on your own people. Yeah. But when you try to, go against them who writes your checks, they'll let you know, stay in your place, boy.
Yeah.
Hold on, stay in your place, boy. You still a little, you still one of them.
Yeah.
You're not one of us.
Yeah.
Don't get it twisted. So that's how I think, in my humble opinion, that's
like,
what I believe.
Did you see Romeo Must Die? Aaliyah, the last, when she played in that? Mm-hmm. Okay. Then you see where my man told the father, say, hey, you really think they're going to let you sit up in the box with them?
Yeah.
At the box seats of the game? Mm-hmm. You have a place. When you decide to take part in their system, you have a place. Mm-hmm. But if we had our own thing, we wouldn't have no place. Mm-hmm. And the thing is, let me tell you, who was one of the most sickest people to me. But although he was sick and twisted, he was one of the most smartest people there was. That's that J. Edgar Hoover. See, J. Edgar Hoover's first instructions was, hey, first of all, what I need y'all to do for me, I need you to go get all the dirt on everybody about something on this planet. So when he went to ball and calling shots and you didn't want to agree, what's that? I tell you what, if you ain't gonna do that, this information's gonna get told.
It'd be in the Wall Street Journal.
You done.
Front page.
So the president had to play ball.
Everybody had to do it.
And you don't think people took that as a format?
That's crazy.
And a formula.
Come on now.
That's a formula.
Come on now.
And the same with them.
Same with
so
watch this. Right. When you say Diddy, he hadn't just started last year like this new.
Yeah.
They said that man been doing that for 20 years.
He had some of the biggest island parties.
Come on now.
Listen, the man, long as he stayed in his lane,
he
would have been still what it was. But when you think you more powerful and it's too smart for your own good, sometimes it come and spank your man. But he really got a little smack on the hand to stay in his place. Because of the little amount of years.
Because if they could have had it their way and booked him on all that, he would have been gone a very long time.
Gone.
You know what I'm saying? So he would have been gone.
For whatever the bargaining table did, they said, well, we'll tell you what.
No, they just don't remember.
Hold
up. No.
We'll give them this.
No. Listen. Hold up, Mike. Hold up, Mike. No. Remember, that was a jury trial. He didn't take a cop. That was a jury trial. So they just the jury didn't find him guilty.
What they pushed up
now
on.
With all them charges, the RICO and all that, they didn't find him guilty.
So the Trump up.
Had they would have found him guilty, he'd have been cooked. Exactly.
But I'm willing to think, though, it's politics and everything. Somewhere in there,
absolutely.
Somebody got contacted. I wouldn't doubt it.
Absolutely.
Because it's powerful, boy. They say, hey, we going to do
behind the scene.
Because even if it's his, because they mean, but we to make a long story short, as a race, don't ever forget, when you decide to play in their arena, you have only so much room to do certain things. You have a place.
Yeah.
So until you understand to come collectively as your race and create your own conditions, just like they tell you, heaven and hell is in the mind. You create your conditions. And we can create our, we don't need the stuff that they have. I went chasing that. Man, I was one of them people that sit and say, hey, you know what? I'm finna show these people that, hey, whatever you think of me, I can do at least this and have that. And I don't even care about that shit.
Yeah.
I don't look back and think of how foolish I was when I fell into it. So I'm not talking about others. I'm talking about myself. I fell into that shit, man.
Is that why you
and don't care?
Is that why you're a hoarder?
That's how it started. All them damn shoes. Don't even care.
I know.
Ain't even wore the damn shoes. I gives them away by garbage bags.
Wow, that's crazy.
I gave my brother tell you. And when I say garbage bags, Home Depot contractor bags filled up with the boxes. Here, man. When I felt so stupid about something, and that's why the more here, take this shit, man. Because it don't define or make me. I'm not happy with that shit. I'm happy with being me and doing me.
Absolutely.
I would just love to see our people come together and get back in a better state, because all of us up here is over 50. And fortunately,
well, speak for yourself.
Well, okay, if you want to be younger than okay, well, that's cool. That's cool. But all of us,
Viagra takes you a long way.
We all, we all reached the age. We've all reached the age to where
I hope Terry Lisa ain't watching,
and we've been here long enough. Listen, we've been here long enough.
Kill me.
Listen, we've been here long enough to know, or to have seen, our people in the United States, not the United States, but in the United States,
right?
Meaning they were together.
That's deep.
Yeah.
And once and I've witnessed it, you witnessed it, and you witnessed it.
Yeah.
You know, we've seen our people with businesses.
Yeah.
You know, not just a barbershop, not just a what they do
we
now.
Had days, haircuts.
Yeah, but come on, man. Hold up. But I'm talking about not just a barbershop, and not just what is another. And we ain't even got the nail. The nail.
We ain't
got the nail hooked up. No. Listen, the Asians has tricked us out of that. You know what I'm saying? They cut all the prices down. They cut all the prices down. No, right. Hold on, no, but they cut all the prices down. They got their place. They cut all the prices down, because I remember back in the 90s, girls was making money in them nail techs. You hear me? Purity, 80s, 90s.
But bro,
listen,
hold on, listen. They not only did they cut the prices, but they got their own product.
Listen, hold on. And then that's what I'm trying to tell you. So what they did, they say they came in with the low prices, right? So, you know, people, you have to be able to be your own economist. When I say that, you got to know when to hold and when to fold. So things was finna get a little tight. So the girls who have been doing nails around here and had their books filled and appointments, I'll get you in if I can, or whatever. They got their regulars, you know what I'm talking about, that was coming to them. The money was drying up. So when the money was drying up, instead of them saying, okay, we're gonna have to switch up, they're like, no, I ain't doing nothing for that cheap. I don't care. I'll quit first. Now watch this. Hold on, watch this. And then all the Asians came in, and they had their little nail salons, and they was cheap, and people started going to them. So, they started going to them. So once they monopolized, hello everyone, how you doing?
No, that's James Mayfield, mother Maxine.
Okay,
hey Max.
Hey, how you doing, man? But once they monopolized the nail hookup, then they shot their prices back up, but they didn't put us all out. And now we can't even get the products like they get at their prices. So we can't even compete. You see what I'm saying?
Let me tell you something.
Yeah.
I went in 1980. I lived in Chicago. I moved to Chicago in 1987 or 88.
Okay.
87. I went to nail classes, and I was doing nails in Chicago. In Chicago, there were black nail techs all over.
Everywhere.
They were everywhere. I remember one of the salons that I personally walked in, the Asians was coming in there watching. They went home. They started perfecting this in the Philippines. In the Philippines, China, and all them places. They went down there and perfected it, brought it back here, brought their prices down, And that's how that stuff started. Because back in 1986, it was black nail techs
everywhere.
everywhere.
They had nail shops everywhere.
Everywhere.
You know, yeah. You know, they had nail shops everywhere. And you know, and everywhere. So, you know, we got tricked out of our position again.
All the time.
You know, got tricked out of our position. And now we the biggest consumers to them. And we, you know, but we don't get none of their money. You know, they don't spend no money within the community.
We the
or
biggest
nothing.
consumer,
Get
even
tax
with the
breaks.
even with the gas. We don't own no gas stations. And we are the biggest buyers around here.
Biggest spenders.
Spenders, buyers, yes. We don't own them. The liquor stores, all of that.
Right.
And we stand on nothing.
So we have to we have to, like I say, we have to summarize and, you know, basically, you know, our whole conversation from today. It's our responsibility to be responsible enough to notice the things that are not right in our lives and change them. And once we change, no, listen, ain't no try. We got to change them. You know what I'm saying? It's like you either got to lose weight or you're going to try to lose weight.
Say something about me.
You know what I'm saying?
I see you. Start it up. And I'm going to start you as soon as we get off there.
Listen here. Listen, hold on. Listen. Now, y'all going to make me lose my train of thought. So as I'm saying, so it's our responsibility to be responsible enough to change our own selves. If you change your mind, you can change your whole reality.
Absolutely.
So don't be scared to change your mind. Be responsible. You know what I mean? And be responsible and do what you need to do to make things, you know, better in your own life.
So
and that's lessons with Larry.
And you saying think it, believe it, and achieve it.
Flat out.
Lessons with Larry.
Lessons with Larry.
What you got something to say?
No, you summed that right on up.
Shout out. We need to shout out James Mayfield.
Yeah, shout out the greatest Mayfield. Shout out to
George
James.
F. Grundy the second.
Yep.
Larry Lott.
Yeah, Mike. Shout out Stephanie
Winfrey.
You know what I'm saying?
Host with the most Winfrey.
Yeah.
Now go and get your little joke in.
And y'all catch us here next week. You know what I mean? We're gonna talk about something a little different, but we're gonna continue to have conversations. Absolutely. And hopefully through these conversations we can make a change and be responsible. And if you know something needs changing in your life, change it. That's responsible. That's being responsible, straight up.
Yeah.